I mean, we want to just get right into it. Usually we kind
Yeah,
of go,
let's get
we take a
into it.
look at the lead triangle, but we're talking about Jayson Tatum. Why don't we bring up Jayson Tatum tonight?
Yeah,
He's your
sure.
SeatGeek
Let's go.
player spotlight of the game, guys. SeatGeek. I want to just give them a quick shout out because they are our partner here for the season and the holidays coming up right around the corner. Celts at the Garden on Christmas Day. Celts at the Garden on New Year's Eve. A couple of great matchups, interdivision matchups. Philadelphia on Christmas Day. Toronto on New Year's Eve. Grab some tickets for your friends, for your family, for yourself. Maybe dabble in some tickets for yourself. Treat yourself. It's the holiday season. Use code Celtics Weekly at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Again, Celtics Weekly at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. They really help you out with the seats. Green means good. Red means bad. Yellow means okay. They got some deals for you there. They definitely help you get the best deal and the best seats out of it. Jayson Tatum tonight, a 31 point, 10 rebound, double double in the loss, 10 of 22 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3 point range. Also dabbled in some steals. Tatum was the only option we had for player spotlight tonight. Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, it could be Derek White again. It was Derek White graphic. Here we go, and no, just
I was
falls
kind of
down to ground.
dabbling the idea of a Kristaps Porzingis player spotlight, but no,
Luke
I will
Cornett.
give the respect. I will get not. I will give the respect. There's different segments for that, Randy.
Oh,
Um,
my bad. My
uh,
bad.
um, Jayson Tatum, I did enjoy what I saw from Jayson Tatum tonight. Got off to a very quick start, 12 points in that first quarter, kind of set the tone for the Celtics, or at least tried to set the tone for the Celtics. Nothing was really going. There was a point in that fourth quarter. The first 6 minutes of it when the Celtics were getting outscored 17-6. Chicago all of a sudden was a team that was losing. All of a sudden, huge swing. They're up by 9. Jayson Tatum still nowhere to be found on the bench. Wasn't too pleased about that since Tatum was essentially one of the, if not the only player to show up tonight for this team. But Jayson Tatum continuing to do what Jayson Tatum does, win or loss, he's going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, look, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. I feel like tonight it was, I don't want to say I didn't see him scoring later in the game, but yeah, what stood out to me was those 12 quick points. But once again, it was a lot of ISO ball, step back, and even that being said, just 4 of 11 from behind the arc. Um, and I don't know. I was, he had 31 points, but I don't want to sound, like a hater here, but I wasn't that impressed by him tonight. I mean, as a team, I'm looking at the stats here. We only had four turnovers. That's probably the silver lining in this game. We controlled the ball and we took care of the ball, but just the execution down the stretch. I mean, you get a technical at probably. I mean, we can talk about that later, but just bad composure, lack of leadership, and ultimately, I think that is what cost the game. And I'm not putting any blame on Tatum, but I mean, as a collective, he is the leader. He's the leader probably in the locker room, on the floor, and keeping your team composed is, that's just as big as being a skilled player in the league. And tonight I didn't see it.
Are we playing too much through Jayson Tatum? I know we're supposed to be highlighting his great performance tonight, 31 points, 10 of 22, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. But it feels like if Jayson Tatum isn't on, the Celtics, they're not, they haven't quite come to the party yet
Uh-huh.
this season. And last year we were talking about, well, the Celtics, they have an embarrassment of riches. Jaylen Brown can go off on any night. Drew Holiday can go off on any night.
Not
Derek
this year.
White. We have Kristaps Porzingis. And this year it feels like when Tatum is off the floor, we're already talking about it where, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Tatum's off the floor. What is the Celtics team going to do? It almost feels like we're playing through Jayson Tatum too
Yeah,
heavily this
I
year.
agree. Yeah.
And I don't want to say that he shouldn't be the focal point of the offense because I think it's safe to say that Jayson Tatum is right now the best player on the Boston Celtics, and the ball needs to be in his hands as often as possible. but it almost feels as if it's not quite clicking with everybody else if Jayson Tatum isn't on the floor. And I almost feel like there's this increased reliance on Tatum this year compared to past years. And of course, I hate to bring this up during player spotlight because we're really supposed to be praising Tatum a little bit right now, but this is part of the praise for Jayson Tatum. He's been so good that if the Celtics, if they don't see him on the floor, they're struggling. And that kind of says something about the rest of the team, but it also says something great about Jayson Tatum as well. Now, tonight, 31 points, like you guys mentioned, 12 quick points. And I thought he was fairly consistent throughout the game overall. Now, 10 of 22, not the best of lines in the world, but also not the worst of lines.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 missed shots away from being, or 1 missed shot really from being, what's it called, 50%. Geez, couldn't come up with the percentage in my mind here. Mathematics class just escaping me right now. But Jayson Tatum overall, it's really about the team right now. Outside of Jayson Tatum as the spotlight player of the game here, it's about the rest of the team where if Jayson Tatum isn't performing or isn't out on the floor, what are we getting from everybody else, and how is the offense really moving with the Celtics? We talked about Peyton Pritchard a lot this season, where if Jayson Tatum isn't on the floor, Peyton Pritchard, he's kind of the saving grace. But I feel as if outside of those two players, the team just looks a little bit discombobulated if either one of those players don't have the ball in their hands. And tonight, that really showed a lot because Jayson Tatum, as you guys already mentioned down the stretch, could have been in the game a little bit more. And I don't want to say this is a game where he should play more and more and more because it is a random game in December and we want to save some of his minutes for later on down the line. But that's I don't want to say it's concerning right now, but it's almost as if we need to play Jayson Tatum 40 minutes in some games to actually go and blow out another team or pull out a game when that just shouldn't be the case.
It's first of all, I laugh because some of the things that I think that, we complain about, which are, valid. It's like we are 21-6. like
no, I'm not allowing this right now. You know
no.
Because I agree that it's like we're 21-6.
No.
But the road's tough.
Okay, Seamus,
the road's tough.
Let me finish because I'm not attacking you. I know I viciously.
No. I'm not saying you're attacking me. I'm just saying we gotta be crisp.
Just saying
I
just personally and I'm not giving this team any excuses coming off a championship. I'm not giving them any hand me downs or whatever. I'm not giving them like anything.
Any hand me downs.
I'm not taking it easy on them. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you just take a night off. You won a championship last year, take a night off. Don't play well. My thing is, it's just like I go through Instagram and social media and I just see other fan bases and just see how they react and like there's teams in like just far worse situations here and like just some of the stuff that we talk about are like other teams like
we have standards though. We have standards.
That's the thing. That's like 100% like the thing. Like we have very high expectations, we have very high standards, and we have very much respect for our team. But like our issues are other teams' dreams. Are we playing too much through Jayson Tatum? Are we playing do you know how many teams would kill to have one specific player to play
the
through?
Wizards, the Raptors.
That's why I laugh. Just because it's like our problems are like our rags are other people's riches, I guess. If that's how I could put it. But I shut up. I think oh my gosh.
No, I'm just thinking other teams are probably hoping to get 2 wins string together and we're over here like, can Tatum play 40 minutes? Is that okay?
But on a more legitimate and serious
note,
blow
out teams.
On a serious note, though, guys, this is something that we have kind of raised an eyebrow a little bit. Seamus, Seamus mentioned, maybe we're not pressing the panic button, or maybe we're not, worrying about this here in December. But at the same time, it's been a consistent issue so far this season throughout the first almost 30 games now, where when Tatum has hit the bench, Celtics look stagnant. The Celtics look like they can't be this dominant team without him in just specific stretches. Yes, I understand we did see, a game against Detroit in Washington or whoever the two teams were that Tatum sat out against. But I seriously think it's been a problem with this team when Jayson Tatum hits the bench and all of a sudden nothing good comes out of the non-Tatum minutes. We saw it against Cleveland. That to me was like the biggest like eye opener. Like we're almost a month past that game and we've had some solid games since then, and I really can't get that out of my head about how poorly the Celtics played without Jayson Tatum. Yes, we were missing some guys in that game, but a 43-point fourth quarter, and when Tatum was on the bench, we just looked like a lottery team. And then tonight here to start this fourth quarter, the first 6 minutes of this fourth quarter that Tatum was not on the court, the Chicago Bulls, not the 96 Chicago Bulls, the 2024 Chicago Bulls, look like
96.
Jordan 1996 Chicago Bulls team. They really did.
Yeah.
And that to me is concerning because it's been happening too often. It's been happening too often for us to see Tatum hits the bench and the Celtics dog it for the next 7 minutes until he gets back, or whatever the stretch is, until he gets back in the game. And I get it. We're in December. I get it. We're 21-6. But that to me is a big issue with this team, and it continues to be. We have multiple YouTube videos on it. I don't know how many more YouTube videos we can make on Jayson, on the production of the lack of production when Tatum hits the pine. I don't. Right. And this is a problem that needs to be solved.